Um, Now I wonder if when Nash blew the quad, if he could have almost like what am I thinking? A heating pad, right? He could have wrapped the Sleep Me system around his leg that night to keep it. Actually, or would you have? When do you need cold? When you need heat? I always get that confused when I'm wounded.
It's never clear.
Right? When are you using an ice pack? When are you using a heating pad?
I feel it's like inserting a USB. It's the third try. If you think you need heat, try heat. You don't need heat. You actually need cold.
Right.
But then you don't need cold. You actually need heat. But for whatever reason, it needs to be the third try.
See, cold is a swelling thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's to keep swelling down. And then heat is, I think, to keep things loose, like for a muscle. Like if you pull a muscle, you should probably use heat. I don't fucking know.
Somebody's going to let us know.
My degree is not in medicine, in case you were unclear about that 13 weeks in. The reason I bring up the quad, not to be like one of these trolls, but that is this segment, okay, when we talked about, and you revealed that you were actually there in the arena the night that Kevin hurt his leg.
I was there, and I feel I revealed something. I revealed that to you before we hit record, and then I mentioned, nobody knew anything happened because injuries are unspectacular. Like actual real injuries are unspectacular. And then I said that, and you're like, I'm going to bring you on to say that. And then you were doing a real big Zapruder film bit. And then like Steve was there. Steve, were you at the grassy knoll? And I was not prepared to play along with that bit. So what people are going to see is a very brief moment of me trying to play along, and then you saying, Steve, you said this. And I was like, yeah, I said that.
And you like edited yourself out of it, right?
A little bit. I felt I could have come off better, and I had access to the cut, so I cut a little bit of myself out. And what it was I made an additional point and got just a from Nash, and I was like, well, I don't think we need that.
Well, so this is that clip.
I made that point, and I reiterated that point, and then there's no need to reiterate that point. But this is that clip.
This is that clip. Then from there, we're going to go to Brian Clark, who was Wrath and Adam Bomb. But you do have him in my notes as Brian Adams. So I just want to make clear that in no way are we going to shit on Everything I Do for You, or Cuts Like a Knife, or Heaven, because I consider them to be three very good songs from the very Canadian Brian Adams. But this would be Brian Clark. All right, now the stiff one of the week is not so much going to be an audio cue. So I'm going to have to, for the folks listening, I will talk you through this. This is a night in Philadelphia, Kevin, where I don't know if you remember this. I don't know if fans even remember this, but you blew your quad out during a match. Now, this is probably a revelation to a lot of people. So here's the stiff one of the week, guys.
Maybe it'll come to me when I see it.
Maybe when you see it. Let's bring this up, Steve. What do we have here? We got, here it is. We got Kevin getting the tag. He's coming in. He's coming over to Booker, shooting him in, ducks the clothesline, takes the boot. Now, Kev's going to head to the corner to give Bully a shot, and he goes down. He's clutching the leg. He's in the corner. Now, you're telling the ref, you remember exactly what you said to the ref there?
I'm fucked.
I'm fucked. So the ref does the signal, the cross, the X, which means we got a hurt wrestler out here. Now, let's go back. Steve, can you do this for me? There are a lot of conspiracy theorists out there, as you might have known if you read Twitter after the last show. Now, I want to slow down this thing here. A lot of people question. They talk about nothing happened. You went down and nothing happened. So I'm looking at the crowd now. Let's go slow. I'm looking for somebody throwing a projectile, maybe. Do you see anything?
This is the thing that people don't understand is when I went to Birmingham the next day and they opened my leg, they found a pristine bullet.
Right.
So there was rumors that Woody Harrelson's uncle had been at that Raw taping.
Let me tell you somebody who was at the Raw taping. This is true. Steve, can you bring yourself up here for a minute? Our producer, Steve Kaufman, was in the crowd that night.
So why don't you tell me, Steve, what happened?
I'm not going to be a lot of help. I was watching the match. This match had a lot going on in this moment. And people asked me about it, have asked me about it for a long time. I don't have a recollection of seeing this happen live. I only have ever seen it in clips like this.
Well, you were stoned out of your mind, probably. But that aside,
I was 16. That is what 16-year-olds do.
Well, you said something very wise before I was talking to you when you told me you were actually there. You said, I didn't see it because shoot injuries aren't spectacular. The work
Correct.
injuries, somebody falls off a scaffold. Kev, this is like taking on a life of its own, the quad injury.
Well, let me tell you something, John Oliver. That tan, I spent half the year in the Baja to get that tan. I'm a Navy SEAL.
But no, I want you to address this because I finally have you on the quad, and a lot of people have been blocked on Twitter. A lot of people have been blocked on Twitter.
Yeah,
because of the quad.
It felt like a shotgun. It felt like somebody. Anybody that's ever torn an ACL, like magnify that times. Your ACL is like that. You fucking quad. Like you could feel it go. As you're going down, you can just feel it rip. And then I went down, and when Bubba was really cool because Bubba like bent over me and he was talking to me, and I said, I think it's my fucking knee. And he said, and I'm I'm pulling on it right there to see if it's snug. Like there's not like that movement that when you tear your ACL. So Bubba comes over. And watch Bubba, and I'll say, brother, and he's like, so he's like, stay where you're at, and then he just kind of lays down to make sure, and he just makes sure there's nobody hits me.
Oh,
see, he's just
he's just
That's making sure nobody hits me because he knows I'm hurt.
Now you were you should have been braced, right?
Yeah,
but you didn't have that brace.
Well, I wasn't medically clear because I had torn my bicep. So I wasn't medically clear for this, and they Delta dashed my gear, and Disco went to my house and got it was kind enough to get my gear, but just grabbed one of the wrong braces, and it was the wrong brace for the left knee.
That Gilberti fucked up. Was that? Is that
no, he did me a favor. I mean,
no, I know.
It was
back and to the left. If you play that really slowly, back and to the left, back. And to the left.
Back and to the left.
And to the left. That was the quad. That was
what
the stiff one.
What we have right here is a coup de grace.
Exactly.
A shirt. That's a turkey shoot in the corner.
That was the stiff one of the week.